Two teams here that came into the NFL together back in 1995, and off we go between the Jags and the Panthers. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Throw out wide is incomplete.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. On 2nd and 10, Newton. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. That is caught. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. To the air again, Newton. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I don't see more than trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Newton. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back to the ground on 1st, it's McCaffrey. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Underneath, he's got Olsen. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
And he'll get nothing out of that one. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this one is we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Touchdown! 25 yards for the touchdown.
And the Panthers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And leading the charge, their lefty QB.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. They run once more with Taylor.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Taylor.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll run the toss here with Taylor.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That burst good for 20 and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They go play action here on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd and 8.
On play action, they'll throw. And his throw is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. They'll look to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Scobie now, kicking away after the made field goal. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive.
The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll make it second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
Off play action, Newton. And his throw here's incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Newton now to throw. And that one goes incomplete on the drive. That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
Gano's kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
This is complete. Finds his man Hearns. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
They'll look to throw now on first down. This is Smith with the ground. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Options galore here, second and a few inches.
They'll look to throw here. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Jaguars are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll run here with Taylor.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
10-3 our score after one here on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football. Second and goal from inside the 5 as they've got it as we resume action. Here's Taylor again. And this time he'll run into a wall right at the 4-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down.
That's Hearns. He's got it. Touchdown, Jaguars.
4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Jaguars are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense so far on third down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
And he's got McCaffrey open, complete.
And they get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He threw a touchdown pass last time they had it, and he'll look to get him in the end zone again here as they start with a 1st down.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a 1st down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
First and 10, Taylor now.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor.
And for a second straight play, just nowhere to go thanks to this Carolina defense. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys have been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on 3rd. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the 1st half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Newton now to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. On 1st down, it's Newton. Throw left side complete. That's Smith.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On second down, McCaffrey. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And room there to work it inside the 25. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Gano's kick is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. The last series for him, a little disappointing. Forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
2nd and 10. Looking to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
The offense on third down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on third down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. That's returnable now for Smith. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage was so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
Newton on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
Here's Newton. His throw incomplete.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Here's Newton. He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Gano's kick is good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Taking it about the 1. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Jacksonville set to go again offensively as we eke closer and closer to intermission. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. Back to throw. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Smith to return it. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one do I go than that.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. From the 50, Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Newton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 27-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Newton on 1st down. It's caught. Smith. This 2nd and 4. Throwing again is Newton. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
He's just not at his focus in this game. It's not 1 drop. It's not 2. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. Now it's Newton. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Newton. And that will be caught by Moore. He's got a Panthers touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Panthers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime.
Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Gano now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 13. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Smith brings it in, going across the middle. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. The throw out wide going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
You can see the thought process there. With his speed, they were hoping he could pop one. Instead, the coverage was good, and they forced the incompletion.
Here's Logan Cook now to punt this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Well, they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports halftime report. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. This taken in right around the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Motion left, Smith. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor. And this will be a Jaguars first down as he gets us up past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. This is caught by Hearns. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now a first down throw for Newton. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. Underneath, he's got Olsen. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, that was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Newton now to throw. Buying time to his left. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 79 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Newton to throw. Short one here, complete to Dixon. First target, first catch, and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Back to throw, Newton. Short one here, complete to Dixon. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On 1st and 10, Newton. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Newton. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He's got the connection to Moore, and he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that can all change, because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They'll start with a quick throw complete out to the right. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be second down. They're going to look to throw. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Newton now to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing is Newton. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Looking to throw. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's Logan Cook now, standing just outside his own goal line. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Panthers about ready to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. From the gun, here's Newton. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards, good for a Panther 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Newton on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Newton. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On 1st down, Newton. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's the option. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking. Nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He's to the 15. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Gano for the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's 2nd and 8. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where was that all game? Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Now back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Ready. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. This is McCaffrey on the give, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. Now, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to throw here. He finds his man, complete. That's Brady. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll look to throw again. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw him offsides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a 1st down. They're just 1 yard. Now a throw here, hauled in. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Back to throw again. And he's got it. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's McCaffrey. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.